Hello and welcome to this brief introduction to Greybro's graphic tee. The idea behind this product was an easily customizable shirt. I have often wanted to put graphics on shirts for compositions, and I found some of the shirts out there to be a little difficult, or at least not straightforward in the way that I wanted to do this. So I had 6S1, aka Les Garner, build me a shirt with some particular parameters for G8 that male and female that I would be able to just easily accomplish things like this, for example. Now, I'm going to show you two different ways to customize this shirt. One would include, the use of a tool like Photoshop or Paint Shop Pro. We're going to work from a PSD that I'm going to include with the product. So if we jump in here, you'll be able to see that there's some basic instructions here. Nothing too shocking. This is just the general area of the front and the back. Of course, to get different placements, you're going to need to make that larger or smaller. Actually, probably that's the maximum size, and then smaller to get different effects that you're looking for. But let's just go ahead and jump into this. The first method we'll use won't involve an actual texture file. The texture files can get pretty huge. I've included a couple with you with the product for your usage, but basically you want to make your own. So anyway, we're in our surface tab, so you can see that I've got G8 is kind of turned off here just for the sake of this. I've selected the T. It's actually called the Greybro's graphic tee, but it was originally called this, so by the time you see it, this label will be different. So don't be too alarmed by that. It should say Greybro's graphic tee or something to that effect. So we want to highlight all the surface areas available in our surfaces tab. We want to go to base color. You can see that with this preset it's just basically white. Now we could just leave this because it gives us this nice little cloth texture. What we really want to look at is diffuse overlay weight. And once you give this a setting other than 0, you're going to see diffuse overlay color pops up. This is where the power comes in. Without having to have other textures, you can just pick a color of your liking. Now you'll notice if we go into actually I'm going to switch over to this view, turn on NVIDIA Iray Preview. You'll notice a not too shocking effect. Very little happens. This is controlled by the overlay weight. If you want it really orange, you go all the way up. If you want it to use the original graphic more, you go to the left or down, and you get variations where that is just kind of a tint. But for solid colors, you can just, go all the way to the max, and you get exactly that solid color tee. And you can literally use any color that you're able to select, or imagine. And let's just say that I wanted to keep this color as a preset. I think most of you would know the way to do that, and you simply just go to add a material preset here, and we'll just call it olive drab. Actually, I'll copy this. Everything's selected, and I'll simply go into the folder where this is saved. I just click on rename, Control C, copy that. I've already pointed my render directory to this path, so really at this point I just have to make sure it's a PNG and overwrite the name, hit render. There you go. Now it looks all nice and pretty. Straightforward enough. Okay, so let's say that I wanted to give it some trim. Simply just go to collar, cuff edges, sleeves, waist trim, and here I just want to give it a darker color. Actually, that wasn't my intention. Undo that. I meant to leave the sleeves alone just to get the trim. And I want to get, I don't want black, I'll just go darker green. So there you go, nice little trim effect. If I want that. I think I actually will keep that. So we'll just, with that selected, we're going to overwrite our material preset to sort of save what we did there. Olive drab. Now, if we wanted to create a preset that just affected the trim, we could certainly do that, and you see the potential for creating a library of looks without changing the color. And I've already got all that set up, so I'll just re-render this. Okay, so there you go. Now, if we want to do something a little more complicated that includes an actual logo or something like that, we could go here. Now, let's say that I want to make a white t-shirt. Obviously, I don't want this guide information here, so I need to kind of like recreate the cutout areas. Very easy to do that. You can just use your magic lasso tool, go in here like this, create a new layer. So I've selected the areas that we aren't working on. Just press Control, Shift, and I to invert that selection. So I have these areas, and I can go in here and just kind of give myself a backing color, really whatever you wanted. I'm going to make it gray in this case. Okay, so there we have our little graphic, our guide graphic. And I've set up these presets for you, which are on the included shirts, just to give you an idea of placement when you do your own. And also set up this basic name and number, so we're just making variations. And I've set up like a little bit of a blend option where these letters are outlined. Just look for something, perhaps instead of writing the obvious, let's put something that's a little clever or funny. I'm just saving this in the sample graphic, and I want to call it Allen Talon. Ah, boo. Allen. There we go. So that is the preset we've made there. Preset texture. Sorry, it's not a preset, it's a texture. Alright, so what's the best way to start to apply this texture? I just go back to the basic white. Now you'll notice that there are bump maps and a normal map included. I declare, folks, I did the first t-shirt graphic like this with making all those normals, and we had a big discussion about it, but honestly, the normals and the bumps for a graphic, and you kind of want it to look like a graphic that was plopped on there, to me, it just doesn't really add that much. I look at them side by side where I don't add the normal and the bump map, and I think for the purposes of just a quick texture for your own usage, you don't need all that stuff. So I've got, if I'm going with a black t-shirt, you know, a design on a black t-shirt or a dark color, I might go with the basic black, but I've noticed that just going with the white and then just selecting everything that you want to change, putting that on then you still need to affect your, actually let me do this again. There's that. So let's go to show front. Easy to forget. Space color we want to change. Looking in the wrong area there. So now we've got our white. So we're going to grab all these one more time. We're going to grab in sample graphic T, Allen Talon. Oh, what is wrong with this picture? Did we miss something here? I'm going to double check my graphic. Ah! Human error strikes again. So I had my alien head turned off. So I'm just going to overwrite that. Graphic. No worries. Replacing the original. And I'll do this. Do this. And we're going to grab all these again. Allen Talon is our graphic. And there you go. Then we'll just save out this material preset just like we did before. Allen Talon. Yes, we want all that saved. And once again, we will copy the duff file name. And it's as easy as that to customize this shirt and create your own presets. Really, you can put anything you imagine on there. I hope you found this useful, and I hope you enjoyed Greybro's Graphic Tee.